Hello again, Tony Husted here from Bite Size Mindset, and today we're going to talk about overcoming self-resistance to change. In our next video, you'll find the link down below after it's recorded, we're going to talk about overcoming the resistance of others to change. But today we're going to focus on your own internal resistance for a moment. And I want to start with a quick quote by Alexander Friedman. And Alexander Friedman said, "It is better to make mistakes trying something new than to not try anything at all." And so the first mindset that we're actually going to look at and explore, and this is pivotal in overcoming your own resistance to change. And this is going to be a tough one for most people to swallow. Most people like to think, oh, I've got choice, I've got freedom, I do things the way I want. And so the first mindset we're going to talk about is that we are creatures of habit. We are creatures of habit, and just go ahead and embrace that. Just take it on. Say, you know what? I am a creature of habit. And really, let's look at it for a moment, because most people think they go through their day and they're choosing what to do at every moment. But if you really examine your day, think about getting up in the morning, doing your personal routine, brushing your teeth, getting a glass of water, making breakfast, getting dressed, taking a shower. A vast majority of the things that you do, 90% plus, is done out of habit. You do it the same way every time. Don't believe me? Pick up your toothbrush tomorrow with the other hand. Try to brush your teeth with your left hand if you normally do it with your right. Next time you get out of the shower, try to dry yourself off in a different order. If you always dry your face first and then your legs, try doing your arms first. And notice how awkward that might seem. And if you really can be objective for a moment and think about how much of your day is on autopilot, and you're really honest with yourself, you'll come to realize most of our days are spent in these micro habits, these little individual habits that we move through without thinking. We just have these simplified ways of doing things. Now, at the heart of it, that's a good thing. It frees up the rest of our mind to think about other things, to do other things. If we had to think about every task that we did, our days would be extremely tiring. We would run out of willpower in just a few hours in the morning. These automated subroutines, if you want to think about it in that term, they allow us to move through the day without using up a lot of our willpower. And so we want to reserve our willpower. We want to preserve it for the times to apply it to habit change, to things we're trying to do differently in the day. And so as we move through the day, let as much be on habit as you can, as long as it serves your greater purposes. Begin to notice where these little habits that you have aren't serving the greater vision, the greater purpose, the greater calling that we've been talking about. Are these serving you? Are they giving you what you want? Are you living and getting the experiences that you want? Now, this is an important question, because behind these behaviors, there's always something driving them. They're not just these little standalone habits. There's a reason we do them. There's a reason why we have them. And many of them, it's tied into something at a very deep level. It's all the way down in the center of our brain, kind of by the brainstem, in our reticular brain. And this part of our brain is all about survival of the individual, survival of the body. And it's about safety. And our habits, all of our habits that we create in our day-to-day routine are about safety. Now, that may not be directly obvious, but with a little examination, I think you'll see what I'm talking about. If things are the same, then they are safe. If our day is predictable, if I know what to expect around every corner, behind every closet door, behind every open door, if I open my front door in the morning and I know what to expect out there, then I feel safe, I feel secure. My body is able to relax, and I'm then able to focus on other things. And anything that's new and different fires up our flight mechanism or our freeze mechanism, and we become stressed. When things are different, we stress out. And so our body is naturally habituated, our culture is naturally habituated to keep things the same, because when things are the same, we feel safe, we feel good. And our cultures are full of all kinds of metaphors about this. Don't rock the boat or there'll be waves. Tall poppy syndrome. And there actually, as I've traveled the world training coaches in many different cultures, there's all kinds of these different cultural idioms that go with this. But, you know, the tallest poppy gets picked first. The branch that sticks out the most gets trimmed off. The mole with its head the highest gets shot first. And there's all these references to this. Don't stand out. Don't be the one to get noticed. Just blend in. Go along. Go with the flow. And these are all talking to our sense of safety. We want to be safe. We want to feel safe. And as long as we're doing things the way we've always done them, then we feel safe. Now, the challenge is that to move to something new, to get something that we really want, we have to step out. We have to start doing things differently. We need to move to a new space. And so we're going to have to deal with that a little bit. We're going to have to deal with that fear of resistance because it's going to feel a little dangerous. And our first step in doing that, and this is the most important thing that we can do, is that we want to take control of our thoughts. And this is a key element here to any type of change. We want to begin to notice our thoughts and we want to take control of them. At the heart of this, we have control of our thoughts. And one of my favorite neuroscientists in the world, Dr. Caroline Leaf, says this is the basis of free will. What is free will? It's the ability to think about whatever we want right now. And we can do that. We can choose to think about a yellow boat and focus on what does a yellow boat look like? What type of a boat would it be? And we can focus on that. We could also focus on what you had for dinner last night and think about what did I eat for dinner last night? And we could think about that. So we have control of our thoughts. That is the essence at the core of this. And so we want to notice when thoughts come up that start to stress us, start to freak us out. When we have resistance, take those thoughts captive. Begin to analyze them. Get them written down and put some thought to them. Step out of them. We call this taking a coach position or taking an observer position. Step out from the thoughts and look at it from the outside. And what's key here is to explore the thoughts that are going on around it. What comes after it? What does it mean? What is it trying to tell you? What is it trying to do for you? And then choose to begin to focus. Rather than thinking about the negatives and what could go wrong, begin to focus on the value of the new behavior, the new actions that you're about to begin to take. Focus on what they're going to give you. Focus on the outcome. What's the goal? What is that inevitable goal? What's that goal? What's going to be reaching it? What's going to be taking that action? What's it going to do for you? What's the value to yourself? And as we're going to talk about in later videos, what is this value to other people? What is the service that it's going to give to other people? And begin to link my activities today, taking the actions, begin to link those to feeling that, hey, this is in service of other people. This is going to give other people something really valuable. It's going to fulfill me. It's going to give me what I want, and it's going to give me my outcomes. So really begin to question all of those things and get some perspective on it. Suspend the feelings for a moment. That's the importance of getting outside of it and taking that coach position. Get out of it for a moment and look at it with a critical eye. Is there really danger in taking this new action? And the vast majority of the time, there's not that much when it comes to taking the new actions. We'll also be exploring starting small, beginning with very small action steps to get the ball rolling, to begin to build momentum. And we'll be covering that in future videos as well. So first off, accept that you are a creature of habit. Just know that it's just the safety mechanism inside of you. It's part of your mind that is created to keep you safe. It's not really resistance. It's just a habitual way of staying safe. And we want to begin to step out, take those thoughts that have been bothering us and bringing up resistance in us. Take those thoughts, focus on them, write them down. Then begin to transform those. Choose to think about the outcome, the values, and the service we're going to give for other people, and begin to take those small actions. And I think you'll find, as I have found in my own journey, and hundreds of my clients have found, that resistance begins to dissolve. It begins to go away because we're focusing on something else. We're focusing on our values. And as we begin to step through, it starts to disintegrate. So thanks for listening to Bite Size Mindset. We'll see you in the next video.